My name is Ryan Hagan. I am originally from the Boston area in the United States, but I'm currently living in Peru. I had worked with ayahuasca before, but never been on a retreat. I had always wanted to spend a concentrated, focused 7 to 10 days working with the medicine in a setting like this, where I would feel held and supported. When I had worked with ayahuasca before, it had been with some local shamans that were you'd go for one night, but there wasn't a whole lot of integration or support involved. So I really wanted that. And the reason why I chose this moment was that things in my life had gotten to a place where they felt a little stuck and a little heavy. I was doing all the things, yoga, eating well, meditation, and that helped some, but I felt like I needed something more focused. I followed your posts, and I really, the words that you wrote really spoke to me, and the rest is history. This has been great. It has been a combination of all the feelings. The outcome is definitely happiness, and I'm very satisfied with the experience. I feel like I've really connected with a lot of things I wanted to connect with, but also, yeah, along the way there was a little fear, some uncertainty, and the need for a lot of trust, and that was an important part of this for me. I had fears all along the way. When I first signed up, I had fears about what kind of retreat this would be, whether I would be held, whether the quality of the programs, the workshops would be good, whether the medicine would be good, whether the shamans would be good, whether it would be worth the money, all of those things. Then when when I arrived, I had fears about connecting with other people so intensely. That was a bit of a challenge for me, or I was concerned it would be. I had fears about being too much for other people, that if I let down my guard and really talked about the things that concerned me, that it may be too much for other people to handle, or I may share something that I'd regret sharing. There are two main takeaways from this experience. One, most recently, is recognizing the value of learning how to sit with being uncomfortable, is to avoid discomfort, including thinking about death, including forming scary, intimate connections with people, whatever it is. But I learned that when you lean into that discomfort and you make space for it and you stop trying to avoid it, it blossoms into something totally different and beautiful. Sometimes it blossoms into bliss. Sometimes it blossoms into a deeper experience of the pain, one which feels profound and useful. The other one, the other main takeaway, which is the best one, is that everything's okay. I connected with something bigger. There were a lot of lessons I learned about how to live my life, but I learned that no matter how I live my life, it's okay. The main difference that I've experienced between working with ayahuasca here and in other places, the medicine wasn't so different. The medicine itself, how the medicine affected me, wasn't so different. What was different, and this made all the difference, is the container and support that I found here that I have not been able to find elsewhere. When I've gone to other places, there hasn't been as much permission to go into the process in the way that I needed to. There were a lot of rules around, that felt a little rigid, around staying silent, staying still, holding things in a way. And that's not to say that this retreat doesn't have rules. It definitely does. Ones that I did not appreciate at first, but came to appreciate. But there was very clearly a permission here to do what needed to be done, to express what needed to be expressed, and a feeling that no matter what came out, it's okay, and we have you, you're supported, and that's what you're here to do. If someone is considering coming and are having doubts, I would recommend, one, making sure that they personally feel called. I think it's important that people don't rush into an experience like this because they have a friend that told them they should do it, or some loved one that thinks it's important for them, or they think it's some kind of cool psychedelic adventure. But if it does call to them and they still have fears, I would invite them to examine those fears and examine whether their hesitance is really about whether they want to do this or whether it's about their fears of doing this. And I would say, no matter what, it's going to be scary. Keep that in mind. Going into this, you're going to be nervous leading up to it. You're going to be nervous getting on the plane. You're going to be nervous meeting new people. And you're going to be nervous each and every time you sit with the medicine. Not that there's something that you need to be afraid of, but it's normal. It's normal, and I suggest leaning into that and trusting you can do this because you can. I just did it with a group of 20 people, and we all emerged smiling.
Beautiful. Any final words?
I just want to say I'm very grateful for this experience. I also had a lot of fear and dragged my feet along the way, and Nico was very supportive in helping me address my fears, and I feel very grateful for that now that I'm on the other side. It was worth every penny, and I wouldn't have traded this experience for the world.